Recon Athlete Podcast is brought to you by Kreitz Market, The Social, and Focus Fit San Marcos. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 63. It's the shelter-in-place edition. Everybody's chilling at home, including Mr. Paul Rodriguez on the phone. Paul, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how are you all doing today? I'm trying to look for the live stream so I can start a watch party from my phone, but I'm doing pretty good, man. I just wanted to make sure, all of our fans out there, and thank y'all very much for being fans of Recon Athlete. And I'm trying to look for the live stream so I can start a watch party from my phone. Are your friends pretty good, man? I just wanted to make sure. I wanted to let everybody know our fans out there, and thank y'all very much for being fans of Recon Athlete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I was trying to do a watch party for my phone, but it was just, I don't know. It's not going to work because I got you on the phone and then blah, blah, blah. So, sorry, brother.
Well, no worries. I just want to let everybody know I'm doing good, both of the industries we're in, we're public service. And so we've been busy, man, and we're still making this show work. And so I'm proud to be here from the house down here in Lockhart, America. Letting everybody know we're all doing fine.
Word up. Hey, bro. So yeah, see if you can do a watch party, and then I'll try to share it on my page. All right.
Word. Go ahead and let me look for the live, and then we'll get it done.
All right. Word up. So we're gonna talk a little bit of Cowboys today. Of course, Travis Frederick, center for the Dallas Cowboys, announced his retirement, and Dak Prescott is coming back to the table, apparently. And we're going to try to get an extension going with Dak, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we're in the middle of the second week of NFL free agency, and the Cowboys have re-signed Amari Cooper, Blake Jarwin. They got some interested in names like Gerald McCoy, and they got Ha Clinton Dix, of course. They've been busy as an organization. They just haven't got the big one, the big fish for them right now, and that's Dak Prescott. Travis Frederick, to me, that was, Paul, that was, big news. I mean, when you lose a guy like Travis Frederick, the center, I mean, that is, to me, the second most important guy on the field to the quarterback. Paul? You there? I lose you? Dang, come on, Paul.
I'm trying to look for the live stream so I can start a watch party from.
Okay.
Oh, see what happened. So what happened was, I'm sorry, y'all. We're all on the learning curve. I just want to let everybody know we're all on the learning curve. Uh-huh. But I was fixing to drop the I think it's a watch party. I'm not sure, but I may not be able to do it on yours. But here we go. Luke Kuechly, this is where I was talking about. I had you on mute while I was setting this all up, but Luke Kuechly kind of left early, 29 years old, and we all really know where this is all coming from. We really know that this is all coming from, from all of the new science that's coming out after this huge CTE scandal broke a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Now, with that being said, this new incident with Travis Frederick is a little bit different. He had this autoimmune disease going on internally with his body. And, I'm pretty sure he really couldn't kick it after sitting out last year or the year before that, excuse me. And it's just really hard because, like you had identified, I mean, he's the guy who makes all the calls. He's the guy who is pretty much, the heartbeat of that offensive line locker or film room. And it's difficult when you have an all-pro that is just gone out of nowhere. It puts the whole team in a real bind. And in my opinion, there's no leadership right now. I mean, you lost a really high-end offensive lineman. Dak has not signed his franchise tender. And it just seems like the Dallas Cowboys are starting to implode. And it's not by any fault of Jerry, but it's just all the really bad timing of things, happening all at once. So I really hope that, this is a time for Ezekiel Elliott and Amari Cooper, and maybe some of the guys on the defensive line to step up and really take hold of off-season training because before we know it, if this virus craziness, goes away, hopefully, God willing, then OTAs will start here in July. And in July, too, that's the deadline for Dak to sign that franchise tag, July 15th to be exact. So right now they're really much waiting for Dak and going to be looking for a brand new center, and maybe knowing maybe something was looming with Travis Frederick. We saw a lot of move by the Cowboys and free agency stockpile defensive backs. And maybe this is now the reason why they were stockpiling defensive backs, is so they can go focus on maybe either trading to get an offensive lineman, or they can try to trade back to see if there's a center that they can really put there. If not, maybe you go after a high-end tackle and drop Zach Martin down to play center. That's just something I think the Dallas Cowboys may end up doing in the short term, but it's starting to make sense why Dallas put a lot of energy into free agency to go get defensive backs, because they probably wanted to get one in the draft early round in the first round, but now with knowing Travis Frederick is gone, they're going to have to take a different approach.
Yeah. And I mean, you're going to have to do something with that interior offensive line. They did pick up, I want to shout out to Paul Partita. He said he said they picked up Dontari Poe today, which is a interior defensive line help coming over,
right.
From, I believe, Carolina. But I mean, that center, man. I mean, that center position, definitely a big part of what's going on. I mean, he is the guy that's calling all the blocking schemes. He's the guy that's really telling everybody which way to go as far as the line is concerned. And then that's going to be for Dak Prescott, especially if we get him signed up and we get him rolling for the next year in this new offense under Mike McCarthy. They're going to need somebody that knows this type of offense, and they're going to have to make a lot of changes and just get used to this, not only to the new scheme, to the new offensive scheme, but to a new center, a new quarterback for the offensive line, if you will. So we'll see what happens. Travis Frederick with the kind of surprise retirement. Dak Prescott still trying to come back and get an extension for his for his contract. I mean, I haven't really, I've been kind of out of pocket. I've been working from home, doing a lot of things. Actually just finished up some work probably about 30 minutes ago. Really, I'm gonna be honest with you. Working from home, Paul, I know you're used to it because from what you do. Man. I mean, that's basically what you do. You're used to working from home. I am not used to working from home. I'm starting to realize that I'm missing a lot of little things here and there. And I'm like, oh man, I need this information and I need that information. And BJ, you keep calling me, man, but I can't answer the phone because Paul's on the line, bro. So I'm gonna have to, call you back. I don't know. I don't know if we can do a conference call. Maybe we'll try that. Maybe on Saturday. But everybody's sheltering in place right now, Paul. I mean, are they doing that down in Lockhart right now?
There's no civil order that's been handed down by the municipality, but I think a lot of people are taking are heeding the advice from the high levels of government on the federal level, and so I think everybody's doing their due diligence right now, and we're all trying to do our part, because I think that's slowly becoming, the most important thing right now. And there's no standing order, but we're kind of falling in line. Lockhart kind of does what the communities around them do, which is okay. Before I got back to the house, I went to go pick up some grub, support some of the local businesses, which I encourage everybody to do. Support your local businesses that are around you. Don't drive too far, but
right.
We want to make sure that if we have available food sources that are open on a daily basis, and we have the disposable income to, support them, I think we should exercise that. But we're doing good, man. I sent you a picture. I put you up on my TV. I'm casting the live stream on my TV. So if whoever's out there, if you want to watch this on your TV, go ahead, and I appreciate you putting the little picture up there. It's like I'm there, but I'm not.
Yeah. You see that? You see that picture?
Yeah, man, it looks really good. You look good, Chris. No wonder the ladies give you a hard time
Hey,
looking good, bro.
dang! Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's where we get all our views from, man. It's the
I know that's right.
it's the beard, bro. Fear the beard. But yeah, dude, I didn't know, like, so actually I got to shout out my friend Melanie, because she actually I was complaining that I didn't have a printer at home because I like to print things out from work. I'm kind of old school when I'm printing, when I'm doing stuff, right, and when I'm working. And I like to print things out because I like to write stuff down, because I'm an old school type of guy. And I was kind of telling my friend Melanie about that, and she's like, "Hey, I got it." She's like, "I've got a printer. I'm not using it." She's like, "Do you want to come by and pick it up?" And I was like, "You know what? Let me see if it works." I was like, "I'll come by and pick it up." So yesterday I went by there. Shout out to her. She was out in Pflugerville. I actually picked up some canes as I was out there too, because I love raising canes. Pick some of that up on the way back. But so I got a printer, and I was able to use the printer today when I was working, and I was like, "Hey, let me print out a picture of Paul."
Yeah,
put it up to where he's at, Yeah.
That's a high-end printer for printing color like that. That's a good quality too, man.
Yeah. It's good quality, I was just, it's like, if Paul's not going to be here, I got to put a picture up of him. So, but shout out to
Melanie.
Oh yeah. No, it was definitely a big help for her to hook me up with the printer. I don't know, man. I'm just old school like that, man. I just gotta, for some reason, I have to print things out and write things down, because if I don't write things down, I'll forget about them. I'm really bad about putting them on my calendar. I can put them on my calendar, on your email or whatever. But every time those little things come up, I just I'll dismiss it or snooze it, and then I'll just completely forget about it. But if I have a list of things in front of me, and I can look at it, keep referring back to it, and then check things off as I'm doing them, and that's just, I don't know, that's just how I work, man. That's just how I work. So
you know what that means, Chris, right? You know what that means?
Nah.
What that means is you getting big time, and you need someone to go with you side by side as a executive assistant. That's what that means.
Man, yeah, bro, I know. I need to hire somebody, bro. I've been asking.
You big time. You got all you need to be doing is making decisions. That's what you need to be doing.
I mean, I try to do that, but we're kind of shorthanded a little bit where I work, a little bit shorthanded. So I got to get down and get into the nitty gritty. I got to get down and get dirty with a lot of the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it also helps me out because I make sure that a lot of our employees, out at Manor ISD are taken care of, because, right now the way things are, I was being a little facetious on Facebook, talking about essential employees, but honestly, man, I'm just grateful to have a job right now. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of friends of mine that are in the service industry, have lost jobs, and they're trying to apply for unemployment, and there's a lot of things going on right now that are out of their control. So even though I'm being a little, like I said, facetious on Facebook, I am very grateful that I have a job that I can do from home. So I'm just bless up for that. So we talked a little bit about Dak Prescott, Paul, but let's talk a little bit more. He had a career high 30 touchdown passes in 2019. He turned down that offer that would have paid him $33 million a year and $105 million in guaranteed money. What exactly do you think Dak Prescott's looking for right now?
He's looking for, I want to be very clear when we talk about a long-term deal, because Jerry wants a long-term deal and Dak wants a 4-year deal. And I think that's the biggest hiccup right now. And I promise a lot of folks, if this was Troy, if this was Romo, the deal would have been done. It probably would have been done a year ago. But for some reason, Dak has this little hiccup to where he really doesn't beat winning teams. And I think that's a glaring negative against him in the eyes of the Jones family. And because of that reservation, they're saying, look, we'll pay you the money, but we want a 6 to 8 year deal. And they want that because that's how long this new CBA got approved for, was 10. And so what they're saying is, look, we're not trying to give you 2 big bites at the apple. We only want to give you 1 big one. and we don't even really know if you're worth it, because if they believed he was, the deal would have been done. So my thing is, what I think Dak Prescott is looking for is he's looking for 4 years, 160 to 180 million, probably 100 million fully guaranteed. Mm-hmm. And Jerry Jones is saying, we'll give you the 180 and we'll give you the 100 million guaranteed, but we want it over 6 or 7 years. Mm-hmm. And the math just doesn't work for the two sides. And I think they're going to meet in the middle. It'll probably be a 5-year deal, and it'll probably be for 5 years, probably like 175 and probably 90 million fully guaranteed at signing. And I think that's the really big number I think folks need to focus on, is the fully guaranteed money at signing. So that means if the sun doesn't come up tomorrow, Dak is still going to get X amount of dollars. And Jerry knows in the next few years, if Deshaun stays in Houston or if Deshaun Watson goes to another team, he's going to reset the market in a few years. And next year, Patrick Mahomes will reset the market at an unimaginable number because he took the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. And so, I think Jerry is very well of that. I think, the Jones family is very aware of that, as well as Dak Prescott's agent. And Dak Prescott's agent has to make sure that he represents his client well enough so that he gets those 2 bites as well. He's not only thinking about Dak, he's thinking about all the clients he has now and all the future clients, because he doesn't want to be known as the agent that won't get you 2 big deals, after you become a rookie. Because if you're only getting 1 big deal, they're going to go with another agent who'll get them 2. So there's a huge standoff right now, and I think they're going to find somewhere in the middle, 5 years, 175, with probably like 90 million guaranteed. And we'll see how that fares with Dak's side of the aisle. But right now, if Dak Prescott does not sign that franchise tender, mm-hmm. Chris, he's not going to play, man. I do not believe he'll play for the Dallas Cowboys.
So if he doesn't, if they don't, so what you're saying, Paul, is if he doesn't get the extension that he wants and he doesn't get the franchise tender, then he's just going to sit out a whole year. Is that what you're saying?
Because what will happen is he'll sit. Yes, the answer is yes, and he'll sit out a whole year, and then next year he can go wherever he wants because number one, he didn't sign the tag, and he'll be an unrestricted free agent.
And at that point,
the market will determine his rate. The market will determine it. And I think that's what Dak is looking at. He's saying, look, the market for quarterbacks is 4 years, 160 million, 40 million a year. And Jerry's like, no, we're not paying you that. Well, somebody will. It's just not going to be in Dallas.
Right. So we'll figure this out. This will be all, played out, hopefully, over the next few weeks. And, while we're in our shelter in place order and, while Lord willing, we're getting rid of this coronavirus and everybody's eventually able to get back to quote unquote normal operations. And maybe we'll see if Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones are able to, get together and come up with an amicable deal and move forward. All right, Recon Athlete, episode number 63. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez on the phone. I want to shout out to everybody that's on our watch party right now. I can't really look at it because every time I mess with my phone, it kind of messes things up. So, but shout out to everybody that's on the watch party right now. We are. I'm live at Paddock Studios right now. Paul is sheltering in place in Lockhart, Texas, home of Kreitz Market. Shout out to Kreitz Market, our feature sponsor, and also shout out to The Social and Focus Fit San Marcos. And hopefully sometime soon we can get those gyms back open because I know I'm missing mine. So Paul, we talked a little bit of Cowboys. I put on there the watch party on the video that other topics as assigned, and this is something that I want to just kind of throw at you right now. I know I didn't really put it in the messenger, but Scott Boras, I don't know if you know who Scott Boras is, but he's an agent. He had put out there an idea for still having I think it was 162 game baseball season with a World Series that goes into Christmas time. Now, to me as a baseball fan, I think that's pretty cool. I think that's interesting. I think, having baseball then, and you've got, I mean, granted, there's those teams up north that have, the open air stadiums. You probably won't be able to play in a lot of those stadiums, but if you're able to have a World Series in a neutral site that's, possibly in a dome stadium or in a southern state stadium, Paul, what do you think about an idea like that where the baseball season is extended into not only November, but possibly into December? You're not a baseball fan. You're a football guy. If we're able to get things going, would you watch that just because it's, kind of, I don't know, a little bit intriguing having baseball that late in the season or in the year?
Now the answer to your question is hell yes. Because I'm not a baseball guy per se during the season, just because it's a long season, just like basketball. With football, I get too scientific, like Papa Romeo says. Shout out to Papa Romeo, my pops. But with basketball and especially baseball, like when the playoffs comes, it's so intense. Like I'm watching a series. I'm watching people chase these pennants, and if it was during the holidays from Thanksgiving into Christmas, it would just be even more intriguing and more intense because you have like the pressure of the holidays and family pressures and people are traveling. But I think it would just be a great opportunity for baseball fans and sports fans to be at home and watch a baseball game at the house, reaching into later part of the year because as my understanding is usually ends around October, right?
Yeah, October, so, and then usually if the World Series goes long, it's maybe the very beginning of November.
And see, I remember a few years ago when the Cubs were going for the World Series, and then when they won, just knowing all of the history or knowing a little bit of the history, it was just so gratifying for that club to win. It just made you feel great just to see it on TV. And so, when you couple that with the holidays and family time, and I don't know, man, it's just something about cold weather and sports. Maybe that's the football in me, but when it's cold outside and you got sports on and, maybe you're sipping on something at the house and you're enjoying family company, it's just really gratifying to kind of see games to go that far with that much on the line. And, just to see the celebration and the adulation that those players get to, exude when they win, and it's just awesome to see. So I'd definitely be down for it, man. I think I give it a big hell yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to BJ. He's actually texting me now. He says he is actually on the other side of this argument there, Paul. He said baseball is a ratings killer, dude. Nothing can compete with the NFL, and we're not saying that that baseball can compete with the NFL, but I think just having that extra time and having that baseball out there, not on Sunday, maybe not on Thursday night, maybe not on Monday night. But if it's going to be out there, it's going to be out there. And shout out to Partita. He's on the watch party as well. He's talking about 7-inning doubleheaders. And I've heard that as well, where they're trying to do doubleheaders, for when baseball starts again. Because baseball, they're looking at, possibly, if everything, Lord willing, like I said, if everything gets going again, they're possibly looking at a June start for baseball. And at that point, they are looking at doubleheaders. But I'm not a big, if you're going to do a doubleheader, just do a 9-inning doubleheader. Like if you're going to do a double, why do 7 innings? Just do 9 innings. That's what they used to do back in the day, in the old school, back in, the 50s and 60s, let's play 2.
Turn of the century is what you're talking about?
Yeah. Even, back in, Willie Mays used to play, Mickey Mantle, you can go back to the Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig days. They used to do that all the time. They play two games, have one at noon, play the other one at 5, or start it earlier. But, play some double headers. These guys are getting paid a lot of money. and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be ready, willing, and hopefully able. That last one, I'm not sure because, a lot of people, like I said, unemployment's kind of going up right now. If the fans are they're going to be ready and willing. I don't know if they'll be able, but if they are, they're going to be out there, man. They're going to be out there ready to watch baseball, and heck, they're going to sit. They'll sit through 2 games. I would. I mean, I'll sit all day right now at this point. I mean, I'm sitting at home right now. All this. I mean, most of the time, of course, Monday through Friday, I'm working right now at home, but I'm just saying, if I have that option right now, I'm sitting through 2 9-inning Major League Baseball games, if that's possible. Go ahead, Paul.
And Chris, I'm telling you right now, I know what BJ said about them being ratings killers, but that was pre-COVID-19. I'm telling you, after COVID-19, any sport is going to be on TV is going to be getting ratings, and that is going to be people are going to be going to games if they let them in. I promise you.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would. I mean, just roll out there. I mean, anything that's going to be able to, get the butts in the seats, and everybody's going to be just excited to get back out, in my opinion. So, we'll see. And BJ says that sounds like torture. No, what's torture, BJ, is watching rugby because nobody knows the rules. He's an old rugby coach. Shout out to BJ. He's a coach over at St. Edwards. Shout out to the Hilltoppers. I'm an alum of St. Edwards, but I like watching rugby. I still don't know all the rules. I don't know how many rugby games I've been to. I don't know all the rules. I know what a try is. I know when the ball goes out of bounds for some reason, the team that kicked it out of bounds gets it back. I don't know. But we'll see. If I think the last sport that I watched on television worldwide was an Australian rules football game. Just a few nights ago, it was on Fox Sports 1. And they had Australian rules football going, and they didn't have a crowd. And then they were going to have, I think at halftime they were going to have like a press conference. I didn't stay up because it was it was in Australia, so it was obviously late. I didn't stay up for the press conference because they were saying like this press conference at halftime might end this game. So I'm pretty sure they did. So anyway, Recon Athlete, episode number 63, Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez on the line. Shout out once again to Kreitz Market, Snoop Daniel over in the green room. What up, Snoop? And what's
Chris,
up?
I got some on that Kreitz thing real quick.
Oh yeah. Hit us up.
So listen, y'all. FYI, y'all can still go through Kreitz Market and pick up takeout orders through their normal hours, 10 to 8, Monday through Friday. Saturday, I think it's 10 to 6. Or you can call into the store on their local line. We'll put the phone number down in the description below. Also, I think they got their new website up and running, KreitzMarket.com. You can put in orders. And look, when you go to the grocery stores and the toilet paper's all gone and the meat's all gone because you're getting there after 6 in the evening after you get off of work, or if you made a run at lunchtime and their meat was all gone, listen, they got meat ready to sell, ready to ship. So get on them. You can order online. They'll ship it to you in Texas. I think a 1-day shipping, and if it's out of state, I think it's a 2-day shipping. If you need meat, call Kreitz Market. They'll ship it. It'll be shipped cold. You can put it in your freezer, store it for when you need it. But listen, if you get to the grocery store and you're too late, call Kreitz Market or go online, order at KreitzMarket.com. Let them know Recon Athlete sent you.
VJ, he's all over my text message. He said, "Yeah, tell me about Kreitz Market. It's 10 times better than baseball." But yeah, I mean that's a great idea. Kreitz Market, obviously they're to lend a helping hand for all of your sausage, brisket. Do they do everything to go, Paul? Rings,
chicken, turkey, ready to go.
Everything's ready to go. you know, if you're looking for something different for dinner. I know we're going to be, you know, kind of chilling at home and stay home, y'all. I mean, you know, I know it's hard.
Stay home.
I know it's hard. I mean, it's hard for me. It's hard for Snoop. You know, it's hard for Paul. You know, I do get out, you know, once a day for a walk around the neighborhood, you know, maybe twice if I can, you know, but, you know, practice my social distancing. If I have to, I'll go to the store if I need to, but I haven't been to H-E-B in a few days. Ever since they started the 6 foot distancing thing. At that point, I was like, because I was here in Austin. I don't know if they're doing that down in Lockhart, Paul, but
no, man, we're not doing that.
Yeah, at H-E-B here in Austin. But H-E-B, man, they're a well-oiled machine, bro. I mean, they are so organized. I mean, they
adapt very well.
Yeah, they do, and so they got you in line 6 feet apart from everybody. They're really trying to, you know, help, you know, flatten this curve and really, you know, trying to get everything back to normal if we can. So, you know, try to stay at home if you can. I know there's the essential employees that have to go into work. Shout out to y'all, because I mean, y'all are really you know, keeping everything rolling through this time, because, you know, we got a lot of people that work for the grocery stores and all the warehouse workers. I got a shout out to you know everybody that's working in the banking industry that's keeping things rolling. You know, everything right now is completely different. It's nothing that we're used to. But, you know, hopefully if we stay home, if we're good, you know, that's the thing too, Paul. I mean, if we're good, if Texas is good, you think they'll let us keep the to-go drinks? I mean, that's what I'm gonna say. You know, I say let's be good, and then see if TABC and Governor Abbott let us keep that to-go drinks thing that's going on right now.
I tell you what, if there is a very low rate of DUIs and alcohol related fatalities, I bet you this gets brought up in the legislature. I bet somebody definitely talks about this, because there's a lot of money to be made with selling drinks to go.
But, you know,
just put it out there.
You know, but I ain't trying to go back to the 60s and 70s, you know, when they would, you know, when our grandparents and parents were driving through barns and, you know, picking up daiquiris, like, and you know, not wearing seatbelts and having the kids in the bed truck and you know, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like picking up some drinks, taking them home, watching the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about drinking and driving. We don't advocate for that.
No. But I'm just saying, don't act like you and I don't remember those barns being in business when we were growing up.
That's true. They're still around.
They were there. They didn't really die until like the late 90s, but they were still there. I remember.
The barns are still there. Now you can't really get like a mixed drink anymore. I mean, you can buy like you can buy like some beer, that's closed or whatever. But you can't, like, you know, back in the day. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid.
I think it'd definitely be up for a discussion for sure.
All right. Recon Athlete, episode number 63. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez here. Snoop Daniel over in the green room. And I got a shout out to Zach Lucetto. He said he was going to stay, or he couldn't join us tonight. He was helping his friend out with some work that she had to do. And I don't know. I didn't get back on the messenger, Paul. Did he say what kind of work it was?
No.
Oh, okay.
He didn't.
Okay. I know he said it was like his friend works for some animal clinics. I was like, so are you going to like take care of animals at the house, or what's going on? But I don't know.
I don't know, man. I just left it alone because I was just like, well, okay. The show's going to go on either way.
Right. So, all right, man. Well, we'll talk Dallas Cowboys. We talked to Dak Prescott. Talked a little bit about baseball. Now, we talked some basketball last time with Zach, and he was talking about, you know, having the NBA season kind of go out, you know, doing a was it like a tournament, NCAA tournament style, maybe at the end of the season. Now, what has come up for the NBA is possibly doing, you know, I guess like exhibition game, just to have something out there. I mean, I've heard this. I don't know if this is in. I don't know if this is in the works. I'm not sure where they're at with this, but I mean, I thought it was a good idea. I mean, if you're able to test people, if you're able to, make sure that everybody's good, make sure they ain't got no corona, and put together just kind of a hodgepodge, team of players that are willing to go out there and willing to, go out there and play a game, kind of like a pickup style game, just to give the fans something to watch. I think that would be great for the fans, and I think also it would be great for NBA in general, because they would have all the eyes on the NBA and have everybody talking about the National Basketball Association. Is that something you'd be interested in, Paul? I know I'd be interested. I think everybody would be interested in anything right now. I mean, they could have bowling. They could have. I mean, they had ESPN Ocho the other day. I mean, they had like juggling, dodgeball. I mean, me and Snoop were on the couch watching marble racing. So to me, anything out there, especially that has professional athletes on a court or a field or a pitch or anything, I think everybody would be excited to watch. What do you think, Paul?
I think that's the sentiment nationwide, and that sports is for the people who are entrenched in sports and in that industry. That's our safe haven. That's our safe place, and it's been taken away from us by no human being, but for the safety of the human race, we've kind of taken things down a few notches, and I'm really looking forward to anything, Chris. And it's like you said, man, it doesn't matter what surface you play on, if it's a professional sports league or sports athletes, or if it's I think if it's anything, man, it could be darts.
Yeah,
it could be
I love me some darts.
A sport that swimming. I don't know, man. Just polo, water polo, just something to escape from the day to day monotony. I think is what we're all really looking for. So I would be definitely excited to see if the NBA wanted to do an exhibition like that.
All right, so everybody stay home. If you stay home, maybe one, we can get an NBA exhibition game. Two, we might be able to keep our to-go drinks. And three, we might be able to get baseball started in June. So everybody stay home. Don't be going out, to the park and getting, having parties and all that other stuff. If it's something that you have to do, it's essential. Go ahead and get things done, man, because we want to get this like I said, curve flattened out and crushed, in my opinion, so we can get things back to normal. Paul, before we end this episode, I did want to mention Cam Newton being released kind of unceremoniously by the Carolina Panthers. I don't know. I was a Cam Newton fan, a little, I liked watching him play. Wasn't a Carolina Panthers fan, obviously, by the hat, I'm a Cowboys fan, but sure. Cam Newton was a fun player to watch. So now Cam Newton no longer part of the Panthers. They're talking. I'm hearing Chargers. I'm hearing Raiders. I'm hearing Patriots. I'm hearing Dolphins. I'm hearing Jaguars. I mean, just out of those teams, Chargers, Raiders, Patriots, Dolphins, Jaguars. Paul, what do you think that would be maybe a best fit, or where would you be interested to see Cam Newton go?
I think the best fit would be the Chargers. But let me just say one thing about Cam Newton. Anytime he's faced adversity and gone to a new team, he has excelled. When he was at Florida and got caught in some controversy, I'm not going to name it because it's in the past and I don't want to rehash it. Well, he went to Blinn Junior College, won a national championship. Mm-hmm. After Blinn, he went on to Auburn and won another national championship. So it just seems like anytime there's controversy that he comes across, he goes to a new team and is successful. Now with the NFL, he had some injuries. 2 years ago, he played injured, and he played for the Panthers injured. And it's like you said, unceremoniously they just release him. They don't even make a case to get anything back for him. That's a sign that they believed he didn't have any worth as far as making a trade. And so by him being released, I think with him going to the Chargers, playing with Anthony Lynn as a head coach, I think would be the best fit. The Chargers did well. They were always playing in really tight games, And I think with Cam Newton's ability to be healthy again and 100%, if he just has half the mobility that he had before, I think the Chargers could be a really tough out. I don't think they'd be a Super Bowl contender, but they could definitely be a wild card team. But with Cam Newton, you never know. And also, Cam Newton is also bringing a Super Bowl appearance with him. Everybody doesn't really want to say that's much because of how poorly they played in that Super Bowl against Peyton Manning's Denver Broncos. But the man took them there to get to the dance. And a lot of times, if you get to the dance, that's a lot of weight that people are looking for, especially in a starting quarterback. But everybody thought Tom Brady was going to go to, the Chargers, and it's that 11th hour team that comes out of nowhere and claims that quarterback. And so I wouldn't be surprised if an 11th hour team comes out of nowhere and picks up Cam Newton. But I think best fit overall, the Chargers and Anthony Lynn would be a great fit for Cam Newton.
Didn't that always happen though? We talked about it with Tom Brady. We were like, everybody's talking about Tennessee, they're talking about other teams. Nobody really said anything about Tampa Bay, but it was Tampa Bay that came out, and we're like, okay, we'll take Tom Brady. But yeah, so
and it's crazy how it happens.
Yeah. So Cam Newton, he's out there. I mean, of course, he's an injury-plagued quarterback. I mean, he'll probably, I don't know if he'll, how much money he'll be able to garner, for himself. But if he wants to play, I think he'll be willing to go out there and show that he's over, his injuries, and he's coming back from his surgeries, and he's ready to be a leader once again. And there's plenty of teams out there right now that I think would, could use the services of a Cam Newton. All right, let's go ahead and wrap things up, Paul. Appreciate the time. I know we're going to be doing this.
Before we do that.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
Before we do that, just one thing real quick. Look, and if y'all follow Recon Athlete on Instagram, you'll notice that the high school offers from the universities are becoming in real hot. So I just wanted to give a little shine real quick before we call it a night. And I'm just going to break it down by high school, and then we'll close out. Good with you, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's just start out with the hot high school right now. That's the LBJ Jaguars. Just want to give a lot of shout to, in my opinion, 5-star cornerback Latrell McCutcheon got offered by Kansas State last week. And we also know the hot guy right now is Andrew Makuba, 4-star athlete, DB from LBJ, got offered from National Championship 2 years ago, Clemson Tigers, as well as Michigan State. Let's also move over to Del Valle High School, man. That high school has D1 athletes all over. Big-time wide receiver Caleb Burton just got offered today, Ohio State. Previously, another Big Ten foe, Penn State, he got an offer as well. Running back Tavier Dunlap got offered by UCLA as well as Michigan State. And offensive line to Kedrick Stearns, 3-star offensive lineman, got offered by Arkansas State today and Hawaii last week. We're stretching our coverage a little bit, Chris.
Yep.
So let's go down to the RGV real quick.
Oh.
Cherryland Pioneer, y'all may remember that team. They played the Weiss Wolves, I believe, in the quarterfinals of last year's playoffs. Quarterback junior Eddie Lee McGruber got offered by Missouri State, and offensive lineman from Robert Vela High School, Ronnie Garza Jr., offensive lineman, got offered by the New Mexico Lobos. Let's go ahead, and we're going to finish off with the big news that dropped yesterday and today. Freshman, next year sophomore, wide receiver, state championship, Westlake Chaparral's wide receiver, Jaden Greathouse, got offered by Oklahoma last night and the University of Texas this morning. Big time offers in the Austin area.
All right, word up, man. Yeah, I mean, we're still getting, we're in the coronavirus era right now, but we're still getting some recruiting done, and hopefully we can get past this, and maybe get back to normal. Maybe we can get a little bit of 7-on-7 in the summertime going, or at least we can get things going by the time we're ready to hit up 2-a-days. So
Chris, one more. I just forgot. I don't want to leave him out. Ivy League offer from Cornell, offered by Brendan Jones Jr., defensive end of LBJ. Ivy League offered to Brendan Jones, junior defensive end at LBJ High School. Big time offer there as well.
All right, so shout out to all the kids out there getting offers and working hard, and make sure that you're still working out. You can still work out doing your social distancing. So you can you're still able to go on your runs. You can do your workouts, guys, at home. Shout out to Coach Keller, James Keller over at Manor High School. Everybody was doing those the push-up challenge, Paul, the 10 push-ups.
I've seen it.
Coach Keller went on there and he was like, I'm gonna do 50. And if y'all don't know Coach Keller, you ain't seen Coach Keller? Yeah, he knocked those. Yeah, he knocked 50 push-ups out like it was nothing. And he challenged all his players on Twitter. He was like, I'm doing 50. He's like, if you can't do 50 straight, just do 50 total. But yeah, Coach Keller was on there, knocked out 50 push-ups real easily, and it kind of inspired me to so I tried to do as many as I could. I mean, I couldn't get to 50, but I got pretty close. All right, I want to shout out everybody that was on our watch party. Shout out to Partita. Shout out to Adam Bergner. Shout out to BJ was on here. Let's see, Emo was commenting, and then shout out to everybody else that was on watch party here on Recon Athlete, and shout out to Snoop Daniel over there hanging out in the green room. All right, we're gonna try to do this again, or not try, but we are gonna do this again Saturday morning at 10:30. And you know what? I don't know, Paul. If we get a bug, or if we're just not wanting to do, or if we're just not get bored, we might do it before then. I don't know. What do you think?
I was going to tell you this offline, but I was planning on being there Saturday morning.
Oh, really? Oh, well, don't say that.
I just
don't say that out loud, bro.
I mean, I don't know. Like, today just didn't seem right to do it with, the city officials putting in that stay at home, and then it's late, and driving back past 10. I just didn't want to be in a precarious situation, so to speak.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna have our social distancing going on Saturday if you're here, though.
We're gonna have to put the table diagonally.
Yeah. No, we're gonna we'll have a different setup for Saturday morning. Word.
All right,
Paul. Even though you're on the phone, I'm going to go ahead and still make you do your thing, Paul. Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are enjoying the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment down below any ideas you'd like to see on the show. Also, for everybody on YouTube, hit the bell. We gone.